Hey guys, I'm Jeff. I'm making this video today to show 3 AC/DC welders I've got for sale. They're actually all made by Century. This one right here is a Century. It's a model 110-114. And you'll notice this one is actually, it was sold by Montgomery Ward under the Powr Kraft name, but you'll recognize the model number, also 110-114. This welder was actually made by Century. It is this exact welder. The only difference is it's yellow, it says Montgomery Ward on it, and it's got a wheel kit. And the wheel kit is actually really nice on this one. Both of these two are 230 amps AC and then a 140 amps on DC. This one is also a Montgomery Ward Powr Kraft, and it's also a Century welder. This one, like the actual red Century here, doesn't have a wheel kit on it, but it's got a higher amperage rating. It's got 215 AC amps. So this is actually a really stout welder right here. The power cord is very thick. I'll see if I can pull over. This is a power cord on my Lincoln AC225, the one that you go get at Home Depot. This is the Century power cord. This is round, and this one is just a flat cord. The gauge difference says everything that needs to be said here. These Century welders are just incredibly, let me see if I can reach this here, are just incredibly powerful welders. So this is the power cord on the 250 amp, and this is a power cord on the 230 amp. You can tell both of them are really substantially better welders than your standard that you get nowadays at the hardware store. They're great little AC machines. Century actually, back in the day, back when these were made, they weren't owned by Lincoln. They were their own company, and they made great quality machines. They made all of Snap-on and Mac and Matco's, or not all of them, but most of them anyway, of their body machines. They make great little MIG welders. They've got a really good reputation. If you look around, you'll see a lot of Montgomery Ward Powr Kraft welders still around from like the 70s. They're great little machines. They're just like the Lincoln AC225s that were made back in the 50s and 60s. They're just really good machines. One thing I really like about these is the leads aren't fixed. They plug in and they unplug. They have spots to plug in for DC as well as AC. And these two machines have a high and a low setting. So if you want to plug into the low, you get a little bit more sensitivity on your adjustment. The 250 amp machine here, it's a model 110-089. Sorry, a car was passing. 110-089. And this one does not have a high and a low, but it does have your AC and then your DC spots to plug in your leads. This is great because if you want to plug a high frequency box in it to do TIG welding, that makes it really easy. And if you also want to plug in 50 or 100 foot leads so you can stretch your ground and working lead out to your work, whatever it is that you're doing, and you want to leave your welder in place, these things aren't lightweight. They're really good quality machines, so they're not lightweight. These aren't things that you pick up with one hand. They're very sizable. So if you want to stretch your leads out, that makes it really easy to do it. Again, they've got the old style on-off switch. I mean, you can probably even hear this on the video. It's not a standard house switch like you get on the AC225s that you buy at Home Depot nowadays. Back in the day when copper was cheap, all of these on-off switches, all of the leads and everything were really built with a lot of copper. You just don't get that nowadays. Not only were they built with a lot of copper, they were built with a lot of steel, and so these on-off switches, an on-off switch on one of the older style Lincoln AC225s is actually a $50-something part. The new ones are almost like a little wall switch. They're just night and day different, a whole lot better. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to run a quick bead or two on each welder just to show you that all of them work. And then I'll put up an ad with probably a little bit more information, but this is really just to show that they work, just to kind of show the quality of the Century machines. I was just on the phone with a buddy of mine, and I've got several videos up, and he shows them to his kids. And I'm Uncle Jeff over there. Yeah, he put in a request for me to do something stupid, such as stick the electrodes to the metal or catch one of them on fire. I told him I'd probably do that without trying, so you guys are going to see me do some pretty ugly welding here, but as I've said in my other videos, whoever you are, you're definitely going to produce better looking stuff. This is just to show you that it works, though. So I'm going to just weld a little bit on each machine. This is the one that's hooked up right now, and I'm going to use the same set of leads. Just so I don't have piles of wire everywhere. So what I'll do is I'll unplug and replug each machine, and I'll switch the leads over as I go. So first one we're doing is the red Century. Again, that's the model 110-114. That's 110-114. All right, here we go. And you'll notice it kicks right on, no problem. All of them are in perfect working order. Alright, that is the AC. I'm going to go ahead and shut it off, and I'm going to switch these over to the DC on this machine. And again, you just switch the plugs out. At first you might think this is a hassle, but it is really nice. If you ever owned one of the Lincolns where the leads are fixed, there's no place to wrap them up and store them. And this makes it so nice because you can take them off and store them in a coil, and then the only thing you have attached is a power cord. It's an awesome connection. It works great. Don't be at all scared that the leads come out. It's actually a great feature to have, and I think you'll really like it. So here we go on DC. Alright, and that is the Century on DC. I'm going to go ahead and switch the leads over now. And I'm going ahead and I'm using the low settings. Alright, and I'm going to switch the plug over. Alright. By the way, shameless plug here for whatever these rolling seats are. Absolutely love them, man. If you own a shop, get one. These things are like $20. Change your life. Alright. This one has a little bit of loose metal on it. I need to tighten up a screw, so you'll notice it's a little bit louder. Alrighty. Alright. Alright, and that was the AC setting. We're going to go ahead and switch to the DC. And again, I am not a professional welder. My welds are ugly. I will not be showing a close-up of that plate right there. That is embarrassing. But you can tell the welder does work. And here we go on DC. Alrighty. And I really do need to tighten that one down. It is pretty loud. All right, we're gonna go ahead and play with the 250 amp now. All right. And just trying to keep these out of the camera. All right. So, this one, in order to adjust it, what you do is, this is the actual lock lever. This is the amperage adjustment lever. You pull this up and it releases, and you can move this up and down, this center lever here. This one actually pulls a decent bit more amperage, so I'm hoping that I don't, but I might just trip my breaker on this one. This one, I'm operating this one on my what I use for 220 in the shop, which is actually an extension cord from my dryer outlet, and that's only a 30 amp circuit. So I did just trip it with this about 30 minutes ago. Hopefully I won't in this video, but we'll see. And if I do trip it, then I'll just say that's just from Maddox, my buddy's kid. Here we go, it goes ahead and fires right up. Obviously not as loud as the other one. And I will go ahead and weld. Alrighty, that is the AC, and now for the DC. Alright, we will kick it right back on again. Alrighty, there we go. Well, that should show that they all work. This one is a little bit noisy. I do need to take a look at that. I also need to kind of wipe them down. They're a little bit dusty right now. Hopefully I'll have some pictures to put up online, and I'll go ahead and wipe some of the dust off of them. But they all are working just fine. And the other really nice thing about these that I should point out is that they have infinite variability. Meaning basically that you can move this lever anywhere. It doesn't just have, it doesn't just have positions. It's a little bit tough to move sometimes, but it doesn't just have set positions. You're not stuck on 105 amps or 120 amps, or 105 amps, 115 amps, something like that. If you play around with it, you can adjust it in between those anywhere you want. So if you're welding a whole lot of the exact same type of metal, take some time and set it up with your electrode and your metal, and really get it dialed in exactly where you want it. And I think you'll be a lot more happy with this weld. Again, these two do not have the wheel kits on them. I know this is sitting up, but I've just got this one on a rolling dolly. This one does, however, have the wheel kit on it. Let's see if I can move this one to the side so you can see. You can see that it's got the wheels, so if you if you just tip it back, it actually rolls really easily. But any of these can be put on casters and rolled around just fine. So anyway, that's about all I can think to show you right now on my Century AC/DC machines. Hope you all enjoyed it. Take care.